Hey, what's up, guys? It's that Hummer Kid, and today we're starting the process of tearing down this entire Hummer H1 and getting to kind of the roots to it. So, good news. This is going to make a great restoration project. This thing is super clean. All the interior trim is original. It's nice. You can tell this truck only had 33,000 miles on it. It's accurate and documented. So, the first thing I recommend anyone doing with any Hummer that they get, remove every single item that's aftermarket. All the wiring, all the attachments, whatever it is, get rid of it. You don't want it. A lot of these are wired incorrectly. They'll start fires. There's weird electrical problems that'll happen, like, having one accessory short out can take away your cruise control. And it's just the weirdest shit happens. So, show you what I've taken out so far. This was 3 accessories worth, and that's just in the engine compartment. Now, granted, the wiring was done pretty good. They've even got relays here, but it's a lot of spaghetti. That's all that is. So that was removed, and they ran it through the firewall. They attached to the correct attachment points, had the relays over here, the 3 fuses there, and then ran it through the firewall under this closeout panel here that you won't find in the Humvees. And then there was you can see the 2 holes there where they cut in, which kind of sucks, but it's pretty small. And then those 2, the little mounting screws, I got to get out of there. But overall, not too bad, and that's good. There's nothing like holes in the side of the vinyl or anything crazy, no holes up there, which is very difficult to find in a Hummer. Very, very difficult to find something where they didn't just throw a bunch of aftermarket shit on it. So that was number 1. There's still some stuff I need to do with that, which I'm working on it. You'll see here, that's where they drilled a hole there for that. There's a couple weird holes, like there's a hole there in the drip rail. Then there's these things. I don't know what the fuck these things were, but they're still in there. I gotta get rid of those. Got this winch back here we need to get rid of. Some trailer wiring that's popping out of there. This is the winch control for that winch. Both of them work, by the way, which is pretty cool. Stuff like that. These holes are getting patched, but that has nothing to do with wiring. Same thing over here. They probably had off-road lights or something. So, but all of this was done correctly. They took the trim off. They did this correctly. Whoever owned this, you got to think back. This is the year 2000. Hummers are coming out. He says, okay, I want a hard top. I want an HMC4 for hunting. Gonna make it a hunting rig. So he contracts someone to repaint the thing and whatever, and do all this work. Granted, this was stored inside, and we know that. I have a pretty good guess because these tires have no dry rot on them, and they are original from 2001. You can also tell because there's not a massive fade on the roof. Pretty even paint wear. There's a lot of indicators that this was stored inside and stored very well. So, well taken care for. There's a lot of kind of aftermarket mods on this. Definitely not the worst I've seen. They're tasteful, and they didn't leave a big impact, and a lot of them were done, everything was done correctly. So, because it was done correctly, all of that wiring, like I just showed you back here, this guy right here, is going to be accessible through this piece of trim that needs to come off. And this piece of trim comes off when you take this one off, and this one comes off when you take this one off. So it's kind of like, it's one thing after another. So same thing with this rifle rack there. So basically, I was like, fuck it. We got to take all the trim off anyways for paint to get underneath that. These seals are coming off to get new seals, that kind of thing. You can tell there's zero overspray. All of this was taken off to be painted. So the goal now, actually that was some there. So maybe they didn't take that off. They got paint under, whatever. So what I'm doing now is 4 bolts take the seat out. And these seats are needing to get refinished anyways. All this is getting refinished in black. And the trim stitching is also yellow. A nice touch for AM General, but that's also going to be dyed black. So these entire seats are going to be deep cleaned and then refinished so that they're solid black for The interior. The correct color would be gray, but I like the black. The black is really nice. We're looking like we're probably going to have a gloss black exterior, since that's the most in demand on the market. The pewter silver and the black are the two most common, but the great thing, if you're painting your truck black, like the decal you'll have to take off, which is really easy. 3 screws there, take that off. But like this, these riveted buckets, things like that, the buckets for the tail lights and all that, these lights just pop out, but you don't have to remove the riveted items. Same thing, it comes into big play when you're talking about all this stuff here and then getting through to all these things. It's like you can take the lenses out and leave everything else on, and you can paint over that. You can paint over the bumper, you can paint over everything, because everything should be black. So it's actually it's a lot easier to paint in black. Same thing, you get paint on any of your gaskets, these will all be replaced anyways. Doing new seals and gaskets on everything just because I can. I don't want to be thorough, but you paint that, it's like, oh, whatever, it's black, you know? So not a big deal. So going through the process of continuing to rip everything out, but as you can see, I mean, this was after I cleaned it. This was a lot dirtier. I don't know if it was like elk blood or whatever, just compounded shit. I'm gonna have to get some detailing equipment, because like this still needs to be cleaned a lot. Seems like it's in fair shape, so I'm not gonna rip it up and redo the soundproofing, but I want to deep clean everything while I'm here. You notice I removed that carpet piece too. This is the back of it. But like this needs to be deep cleaned, and so I'll probably get some detailing equipment, just so I have the tools in the future to do this kind of stuff. And I don't have to pay someone to detail this whole thing, especially at different stages. It's like you could detail it and then I take the seat up and then there's a whole bunch of other shit. So yeah, in the process, I wanted to go off-roading and stuff while still have the shitty paint job, but at this point I'm thinking about just going for it, tearing everything out and just going ham on it. So that's kind of where I'm at now. So pretty much all of this trim is going to be removed to get to that, and then I don't know, I think I'm just going to take everything out and just keep going. All that stuff can be able to stay. It's just all these trim pieces here need to be removed for paint. Then these trim pieces need to be removed, 1, also for paint, but 2, to get that electrical wiring out of there. Once that's done, then, you know, this can be filled and that kind of thing. All these holes can be filled and that kind of fun stuff. But yeah, have LED lights. I'm probably going to replace these 4. Rubber Duck has the LED versions of them, so I'll probably be replacing all those. So it's all LED interior lighting. It'll look good. And then the other project I'm working on, which is I've got these, the front panel out and then the closeout panel for the main AC unit. This is what was in there. And if you take a look in there, you can see the rust there. But like inside, and there's not enough light to see it, but like all of that is rusted. You can see it on the armature there. And the reason why, and this is the new piece, I mean, this is brand new. I got this from Adventure 4x4, and it does say GM genuine parts, made in Taiwan. This is why. So if you get a loud motor, it's because, at least a blower motor, it's because you got rust in it. Why do you have rust on it? Because your drain plumbing has failed. So there's a couple different attachment points on the main HVAC unit. Same goes as the auxiliary unit. And you can tell everything's pretty old and shitty. But these plastic tees after 21 years just shit the bed. And both of the nipples on the main HVAC unit broke off, which is why. So you've got basically your drainage there. There's a fill nipple that should be here and another one there. And they're cut off, so you can't attach anything to it. The solution to this is Hummer Parts Guy still has some of the original AM General repair kits for these nipples, because this is something that was well documented by AM General. It was a very common problem. So you can see I got brand new fittings, brand new tubing that's clear, so you can actually see if it's working. Once those new ones are sealed on there with ABS cement, then basically I'll just attach it all and it'll be good to go. So you have to ask yourself when you're repairing stuff like this, why did the blower motor get rusty? And like, you can just replace it, but it's going to happen again. I probably won't have that truck that long, so I don't worry about it, but it is always a good habit to do things correctly and thoroughly, because all you have is your reputation. So I want to do everything I can to do a complete restore, because this is a really nice truck. So I was like, okay, we're going to redo the plumbing. We're just not going to replace the nipples and all that shit. We're going to do brand new plumbing, fix all of that stuff, and to prevent anything from cracking in the future, repair the nipples on this unit, and then put in a brand new blower and fan assembly. I'm not a big fan, if I can help it, of just replacing one part. I just replace the whole assembly. Like, just make it all new and then drop it in. It's easier to install most of the time, and you get a better quality product at the end of the day. So that is what we're doing with that. And the rest of this kind of looks scary, but it's just, you know, tubing and that kind of thing. Really easy stuff. So that is about it for this interior. So I'm going to continue ripping these seats out, uncovering more special Hummer dust. I'm kind of curious to see what it looks like with all the seats out. So I'll do another video then, and then get this whole thing detailed. Like, as I'm going through all this stuff, even though it's under this and the buyer's never going to see it, I clean it just so I know. When someone takes that off, there's no Arizona dust left in it. There's no Colorado dust or whatever. It's brand new. It looks brand new. That's kind of the whole point. So yeah, so I'll keep at it, and thank you guys for watching. We'll get more progress on this guy. Got a couple other things going on with the Humvee, but my main focus right now is this H1, because they are a lot of fun to work on. There's a lot of extra trim pieces and stuff like that, but this is a really nice truck that has a ton of potential. So this restoration is going to be successful, and it's going to look really good because it's out of a really good base, and almost every part is perfect and intact. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.